Go back to being 18 trying to figure out what is it I was going to do with my life, I probably would not have chose the route that I did. Going to a school where you learn a trade, a skill, something that you can use immediately after graduating makes so much more sense if you are not coming from money. It's not to say that you can't eventually become a PhD holder or go back to school and do something like art or history. But if you're looking for the best way to set yourself up 10 years from now, it's not picking the field because you enjoy the subject but you don't know what you can do with it. Or picking at the career where when you graduate, you will not have access to a job because nobody wants you unless you have a master's degree. A lot of trade programs and just things that have certificates are short. They're between 6 months to maybe a year. And sometimes that is all you need to change things completely.
You young, you trying to figure out your life. You like, yo, should I go to college or should I go get a trade? Is college worth it? What should I do? You should weigh the scale, right? If you're going to go to college for nothing is really, but let's call it spade a spade. If you're not about to go to college to make some money, then you probably shouldn't go to college. There's plenty pros to just going to college though, right? The type of people you get to meet, the experiences, you don't really get that. But at the same time, we have to make money. We live in a capitalistic society. So there's plenty of opportunities in that way and you can make them work. I would suggest if you're not doing like nursing or anything that you know for sure you could get a job, don't do it. If you're going to get a trade, the pros is that you're more than likely to have something to be able to make money instantly and to live over. To me, the cons is that you miss out on the college experience. College do a lot for you, like the type of people you meet. Like some of my best friends I met from college, from all over the country, all over the world. And a lot of trade jobs are like physical labor. So when you think about that, right, if you don't got a plan to do that for like 10 to 15 years or however long and the transition into something else, you subjecting yourself to like doing a lot of physical labor. But a lot of trades, they make a lot of money and a lot of people don't know about them. And that's one of my goals too, is to like figure out how I could streamline everything with the trades to give people the option to be able to be like, I bet I could go into this and I could go into that. I've been meeting so much like young that need that type of help. But yeah, that's my assessment of it. If you want any details or anything, just let me know. You already know the vibes. It's your boy Joe Cash.
Okay, so today we're going to answer whether trade school or college is better. And to be quite honest, I would honestly say that either one is good. Matter of fact, let me be real honest. Depending on what profession you go into is going to determine where you should go. But for people that know exactly what they want to do and do not care about the 4-year college experience and just want to get to the money, go to trade school. Oftentimes, a lot of people that graduate from trade school actually make more money coming out than a person that's an undergrad. Why? Because for the next 2 to 4 years, however long trade school is, you're only focusing in on that particular trade. So when you go to apply for those jobs and they know that you went to trade school, they know that you're probably top notch. You know what you're doing because that's all you've been focusing on. College, they give you those maths, those biologies and things of that nature, and they give you a bunch of like just broad ranges, whereas your trade focuses in on your trade. So to be completely honest, if it's about the money for you, trade school might be a little better. It's more affordable. Yeah. Trade school would probably just be better.
Y'all, hear me out. So I was just watching this TikTok, right? And this guy, he was complaining about the fact that he could not find a job. He just graduated from a 4-year university and nobody will hire him. I don't know what high school graduate need to hear this, but I'm about to put you on game. Do yourself a favor and go and get a trade. Okay? Go and get a trade. When you're in high school, they typically don't really tell you to go and get a trade. They'll tell you to go to college, go to the military, something like that. But go and get a trade, okay? Do yourself a favor and get a trade, okay? Because a lot of people will not tell you this. A lot of these trades, a lot of these certifications hold way more weight than these degrees out here. I'm trying to tell you. Because with my pharmacy technician trade that I hold right now, hold way more weight than a lot of these degrees out here. I can easily get a job just like this. And there's people that I know have master's degrees and struggling right now to obtain a job. Let that sink in, okay? Also understand it's not about what you know, it's about who. A lot of doors can open for you simply by just knowing somebody who works at the company you want to work for. You can have a master's degree and somebody that knows the manager will get the freaking job over you just because they know them. And they probably not even qualified to do that job. But here's the thing, they have to train you anyway. Go and get a trade. Now, I don't know necessarily what you're into, but this is what I did. When I got out of high school, I did a whole bunch of stuff. But once I realized that college at the time wasn't for me, I went and I got me a pharmacy technician trade, right? It took me roughly about 3.5, 4 months for me to be able to attain it. However, you can go to a community college and you could go to pharmacy tech school, but if you do it through like CVS or Walgreens, they will pay your way to get your pharmacy technician license. And make sure that you get a certification over a registration because it opens more doors for you. So they hired me as a pharmacy associate, and then it took me 3 months for me to really learn the information, and then I took the test, passed it, and I got my certification. And I promise you, by me being a nurse right now, that pharmacy technician license was the reason why I was able to get the jobs that I have right now in nursing. So please, please, please do not sleep on these trades, okay? Go and get you one. I don't care if it's medical assistant, surgical tech. It don't even necessarily have to be in the medical field. You can go and get your CDLs, construction worker, whatever floats your boat. But go and get you a trade. Because I'm telling you, when you get finished with trade school, it's going to be way easier for you to get a job over you graduating and getting your degree. Why? I don't know. But I'm telling you, don't say I ain't never told you nothing, okay?
I'm going to say it again. If you're coming out of high school and you're trying to decide between trade school or college, let me tell you something, bro. No matter what you do, you're always going to feel like you could have done the other option, or you could have done better in something else and something else. There's so many majors out there, bro. And there's so many trade jobs out there. You can't do all of them. Please pick the thing that you are most interested in. Not for the money, not for, who your friends or where your friends are going, not because somebody said blah, blah, blah. Please do it in your own interest. You will never burn out. I've switched majors like twice, ended up in business and labor law, and I'm also doing a trade job. I get the best of both worlds and the worst of both worlds. I'd say if you're less of a hands-on person and you don't want to be breaking your back, doing grueling work, and you hate getting dirty, go to school, man. Get an office job. You can still work an office job in a trade company. If you don't mind getting dirty, you want to learn some mechanical skills and up your pay, go get a trade, bro. You'll be Gucci in like 10 years.
You can go to college all day long and get a business degree. I did the same thing. Nothing wrong with it, but I don't use it today. I learned a lot from going to college. I learned a lot, and I made a lot of friends. Got to play baseball for 3 or 4 more years. But at the end of the day, what I did as a person and a hard worker is what got me here, not a degree.
Sure.
That piece of paper hanging on my office wall is, it cost me a bunch of money, but it's, and I'm not telling kids not to go to college. In my opinion, you got to be focused on where you're going, like what avenue you're going.
What kind of lifestyle you want?
Right.
You want to live in a city, you want to go to a job, you want to be home at a certain time. Think about that when you're thinking about your career. Don't think about your career as being cool. Think about something that's what you want out of life.
Yeah.
But what I feel like the challenges are now, when I was started working, it was begging for a job.
Yeah.
An opportunity. Now we're begging people to work for us. It's totally polar opposite.
The main thing I want y'all to take away from this vid is to do your research. I'm not saying trade school or college is a bad idea. I just want y'all to weigh out your options and see what's the best for y'all. But anyway, if y'all enjoyed this video, show me some love because I want to make better content for y'all. But anyway, guys, bye-bye. It's VK.
Is the reason why I'm selfish. I ain't doing it for myself.